Okay, hello everyone, this is Mr. Rob Ronan here again, and today we're going to go over 5 ways to end your combos with Testaments. Whether you get an RC pop-up or a Stained State pop-up, what are the best ways to be ending your combos? It definitely depends on different situations, so we're going to go over 5 of the most useful ways to end your combos. So, the first option is obviously to end your combo using your down forward Grave Reaper, and it's pretty self-explanatory off of things like 2K, 2D Grave Reaper. Like, you just launch the opponent, they get launched far away, and this is obviously very good, because on their wake up you can summon the crow, and if you do the timing correctly they can't even escape the crow, so they're forced into the Stained State, and then you get to chase them down with your amazing pressure and combos afterwards. But there are different ways you can implement the same Grave Reaper into your combos for slightly different results. So for example, off of the same 2K 2D, I can actually hold down the Grave Reaper for half of its charge time, and it'll actually OTG Kai, and then the second hit, the projectile, will hit Kai as he wakes up from the OTG. So it kind of acts as a reset there instead of a combo like it does here. So you can still go for a guaranteed crow, but you can also go for some more unique things, like teleporting to your projectile and then going for a throw, which can be very hard to catch. And it works against people a lot of the time. And it's also just a really good option if you're in a matchup where you kind of want to be closer to the opponent. Like if you're fighting someone like Axel Happy Chaos who thrives at you being far away, you probably don't want to do this because this puts you practically full screen. Even though it does set up your crow, it may not be a distance that you're able to get in to get the Stained State pop from your crow. So going for the held version, you get the OTG and you're left so close that you can actually go up for, you know, your buttons, and you're close enough to get in for your pressure and stuff, which is very handy in certain matchups. If you don't want to be pushed all the way full screen, you're left a little bit closer, so you have more chance to actually go for your pressure. Now, if you're ending a longer combo with your Grave Reaper, it can be a little bit trickier, because if you're ending your combo in a lot of the common combo routes we see, like 6H, going to Grave Reaper won't really work. You might get a second hit, and depending on how long your combo is, you may not even get any of the hits, depending on where you are on the screen. As you can see there, it does basically nothing if you're at the wrong range. So, if you do want to end your combo in Grave Reaper and know that it'll work successfully, I suggest you go co/2H into a half-charged Grave Reaper. You'll get both of the hits, and you'll be so plus that you can get a guaranteed crow, and that's just a really good guaranteed way of ending your combos. And like we were saying before, if both of the hits of the Grave Reaper hit, they go full screen, so it's really good against matchups where you prefer to be at a little bit of a distance, where your projectiles are actually really useful. So using this as a combo ender is very good in matchups where your opponent likes to be close range, like Potemkin and Giovanna. So whatever combo starter you want to do, then just /2H, half charge your projectile, and then you can summon the crow instantly, and it'll just be a really good way of using combos. As you can see there, it can even be used as a side switch to go to the wall, put the opponent in a Stained State. Great stuff. A combo route I see a lot of Testament players using online is whenever they get a pop-up, they just go /6H into Arbiter Sign, which is kind of damaging. You know, you're going for Arbiter Sign, so you're not doing any kind of setups or anything for advantage, you're just going for straight damage. But you can actually make these kind of route more damaging by going for /2H into 5k 6H into Arbiter Sign. So that adds a bunch more damage to the combos than any of the combos where you would have been doing that situation. And it's honestly not too difficult. So any situation, as long as the opponent hasn't been hit with too many airborne hits and there's, you know, not too much gravity in the combo, this will work like a charm and work super easily, and just add a bunch more damage to the combos where you would have just been doing a simple combo ender like that. The only situation where you have to be careful with this is when you've done, you know, a bunch of juggling in your combo and the opponent is a little bit too far away from you, then your 5k will whiff and the combo won't really work. So off of any generic like pop-up though, if you've gotten like a 2k into the Stained State pop-up, or just anything into an RC that hasn't had too many aerial hits, this combo will be super easily and work like a charm. Okay, I'm going to call this next one a combo ender 2.5 because it works basically the exact same way that the /2H into 5k 6H works, but instead of doing a /2H, you just go for Charged Dust, and then you can easily go for 5k 6H, and it just works a little bit more consistently than the /2H does. For example, in situations like in this area full screen and you've gotten, you know, an aerial hit, because of all the gravity and the aerial portion of the combo, the 6H actually whiffs there, but in this exact same situation, going for a dust will not. So it's just a little bit more consistent, but it's just a little bit less. Using the dust, it's a little bit more consistent, it's just a little bit less damage in some situations, but it is just good to keep that in mind if you're like, oh crap, I'm not near a wall and I've done, accidentally done some aerial things, and I'm RCing here when the opponent's airborne, I should just go for a dust into my same combo ender, but instead of going for the close slash 2H, you just use dust instead because it's a little bit easier. But most of the time I still do recommend doing close slash 2H. Now, the third combo ender I have for this video is a bit of an alternate ender to the close slash 2H ender, where instead of going close slash 2H into 5k 6k, you actually jump cancel the 5k and go for a little bit more of like an advantageous situation. So go for stuff like this, then 5k, instant air dash into your aerial Grave Reaper. Forgot the name for a second. So this actually hits the opponent meaty as they wake up, which is really amazing, and depending on the timing of when you air dash and how long you hold the projectile for, it'll have different frame advantage, but this works really consistently off of almost any combo. As long as you have the ability to put a 5k somewhere in your combo, you'll be able to go for this. So even off of this type of combo, so as you can see, this sacrifices a little bit of damage for a better situation where you kind of keep on top of your opponent a little bit more than you would have with other combo enders. So, it's a give and take depending on different matchups. If you want to really stay close to your opponent, I recommend using this combo ender because it keeps you on top of them and you get plus frames as they wake up and you're in a nice position to throw a crow and go for your buttons. So it's a pretty good combo ender. And the fourth combo ender is also going to sacrifice some of your damage, but it's very important to make sure you're going for, especially in a matchup where your stain state is proving very useful, and that is going for the crow as your combo ender. Whether it's the wall break or just in your combo ender mid-screen, crow can be a really, really awesome combo ender just purely for the stain state that it applies on the opponent. And there are only really two ways you can apply the crow at the end of a combo, and that's either by going from a 6H into crow or a 2H into crow. And they both work raw as long as the opponent isn't too far away, but they also work in combos. So if you landed a random Arbiter Sign or you've done any kind of full combo, you can do something simple like this. You can wall break with a crow. And just making sure you're throwing a crow at the end of the combo is just going to make sure you keep your offense on the opponent even though you're sacrificing a bunch of damage. Chasing them down with the button and being able to go for an even better combo later on is absolutely worth sacrificing the damage. And if you're near the wall, you can actually use the crow as a combo extender and an ender. So you can actually, after a 2H, throw the crow and it'll actually launch the opponent up enough where you can go for stuff like this, where the crow will launch the opponent enough for you to get a 5k into an extension, and you're even able to use a crow again to break the wall. So double crow combos are pretty cool and pretty flashy. Now, the fifth combo ender is by far the best, and it's obviously using the Nostrovia super, because it is just ridiculous and probably one of the most iconic things about Testament's gameplay. So, going for the Nostrovia super as a combo ender is amazing. I think we all know that. It applies stain state, it gives a hard knockdown, it breaks the wall and leaves the stain state on for the hard knockdown, and you get positive bonus. So it's really amazing, and it starts combos as well as continuing them. It's ridiculous. But getting into the Nostrovia can actually be a little bit tricky. So in order to use Nostrovia in the middle of your combo, you need to be able to go into a 2H or a 6H. That means that your opponent has to be launched enough where they can get hit into a 6H. So whether that's from an RC or your stain state pop-up, both of these options will allow you to do close slash into 6H or 2H, and then go into the Nostrovia super, and then very easily get a big chunk of damage. Another option is if you get a counter hit, if I get, whoops, either on your any of your slash buttons, you can go into 2H, and then easily hit confirm into your Nostrovia. This is one of the most damaging ways of going into Nostrovia. And you get a huge chunk of damage, and you're either going to extend your combo or get the wall break, and yeah, Bob's your uncle, it'll be amazing. So if you are mid-screen and you've already popped the opponent into the air, whether it's with an RC or a stain pop, you're mainly just going to be going close slash into 2H, And this is the best situation to go into Nostrovia because you've got lots of screen space to chase the opponent down, and you can have space to go for the combos and the pop-up and the chase down afterwards. If you are a little bit closer to the corner and you don't want to break the wall and you have gone for an RC, I recommend going for a standing RC so that you can cross underneath. That way you've got tons more screen real estate to chase down the opponent and go for these same combos. Oops, and then screw it up like I just did then. But crossing under gives you so much more space. However, if you are wanting to break the wall, I suggest you use 6H instead of 2H just because it does a little bit more damage. So if you've gotten whatever RC or, combo starter, anything into 6H will basically combo into your Nostrovia pretty easily. And depending on how close you are when you land on Nostrovia near the wall, you can get a 6H before they break the wall, which just allows you to get a little bit more damage. So while the succubi are attacking, go for your 6H, just adds a little bit more damage to the combo, and then they break the wall, and you've still got your Stain State and your awesome knockdown, and then you can loop the same thing again if you'd like. Now, you don't even have to do that. Let me show you how much damage this can add up to if you just get one situation where you go into Nostrovia into a wall break. So if I just get any random combo, maybe I go for an Arbiter Sign and I RC it to get a combo from it, like, do this combo route that we were just talking about before, go into the succubi, they break the wall, I didn't get an opportunity to go for a 6H, I was too far away, and then I can chase out, go for some pressure, oh, they got hit, cool. Get to break the wall with the crow again. Kai's already lost tons of his life, now he's scared, I can run up for a throw, go for this, reset, and he's dead. Like, just being able to break the wall once with your Nostrovia is huge advantage for you, because if they get hit by your mix-up after that, they are practically dead, and it's terrifying. So make sure you are utilizing Nostrovia as much as you can. Anytime you get the opportunity to hit confirm something, I recommend just instantly hit confirming into Nostrovia, because honestly, the less buttons, the less scaling, and you'll just get a huge chunk of damage. Like, look at that ridiculous chunk of damage just for doing literally nothing. You can get combos off of your dust. I thought that was good. And yeah, the opponent's gonna die really quickly if you choose to end your combos in Nostrovia. It just hurts, and it sets up such a good advantage. And an honorable mention goes to using your Calamity One super as a combo ender after your heavy slash, because after your heavy slash, you can go for an RC, which a lot of people do since you can't really go into anything else, none of your other special moves work. But going into your Calamity One honestly does more damage mid-screen than most of your other combos would. Obviously you don't get the same advantage, but if you're just wanting to go for straight damage, Calamity One is an easy, big chunk of damage, you can't mess it up. And a second honorable mention goes to doing a funky aerial combo like this, where you get a close slash into all of your aerial buttons, into a Grave Reaper in the air, and depending on the starter, this can be more damage than some of your other BNBs, but it only works in the corner, but it's a good thing to keep in mind. So, those were the 5 ways I recommend you end your combos with Testament. To quickly recap, we had going for Grave Reaper, whether that's just by doing a straight Grave Reaper that launches the opponent really far away, where you can follow up with a crow, or doing a delayed Grave Reaper, where it OTGs the opponent and you can follow up for a crow, or teleport in for a throw. The second combo ender option was going for your close slash 2H route, where you can go close slash 2H into your follow-up, which is just a unique way of adding damage to your combos. And combo 2.5 was using your dust in a situation where you would have used close slash 2H, but in mid-screen, where sometimes it doesn't work. It's just a little bit more consistent, but just a tiny bit less damage. Third combo ender was using your 5k and jump cancelling it and instantly dashing in and going for your aerial Grave Reaper on wake up, off of any combo where you can get a 5k. The third combo was going into a 2H into the crow, or if you're closer to the corner, you can do a 6H into the crow. And whether it breaks the wall or not, crow is a good combo ender because it puts the opponent into Stain State. So you're sacrificing damage from whatever combo you would have been doing, but you get the advantage of having Stain State. And when you're doing so in the corner, you can actually use the crow as a little bit of a combo extender, because the crow will launch the opponent enough for you to get a 5k, and then they'll get popped up again, and it's just a good combo extender in the corner, and you can use the crow to break the wall even after using it in the combo. And then the final combo ender was obviously using your Nostrovia. So any situation, whether it's a counter hit fast slash or 2s or close slash, you can go into your 2h and cancel that into your Nostrovia. Or anytime the opponent is airborne, whether it's from a stain pop-up or an RC pop-up, you can do the exact same thing. And if you're closer to the corner, I suggest you go. And if you're closer to the corner, I recommend ending in a 6h, because that'll just add a little bit more damage. And then after Nostrovia, you have so much advantage, and you can throw in a quick 6h before they break the wall, just for a little bit of extra sneaky damage. And you can do huge damage and keep oppressing the opponent when you get to the next stage. And then we had our last two honorable mentions, which are just ending any combo that ends in a fast slash with your Calamity One super, which just does a big chunk of damage, often more damage than a combo would, but it doesn't give you much advantage. And also an honorable mention went to doing funky jumping combos, where you get to get all of your jumping normals in a row. And they only really work in the corner, but they look pretty cool. And do a decent chunk of damage. So, those were the 5 and a few extra combos that I recommend you use with Testament. They're very flexible combo-wise, and I think you got to make sure you're switching up your combos so the opponent, can't predict what you're going to do. Keeping them on their toes is really important. So yeah, implementing these 5 combo enders will greatly improve your gameplay. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.